Hello, traders, and welcome to the market opening preview on a Thursday, July 7th, 2016. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, please come visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, got a lot to talk about today as we are getting ready for NFP Friday. Non-farm payroll numbers come out. Remember, last month was a disaster. What did they have? 36,000. They're expecting 176 this month. Well, we'll wait and see. Got about 36 hours to go. All right, traders, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I do record this during the Asia session. So if you're looking at this in London, just go back about 12 candles and you'll be able to see where I started the presentation. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008 I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later I came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, traders, I'm in my 9th year, still in Thailand, loving living in Asia, the people, the food, and most of all, the time zone to trade the Forex markets. Traders, I can actually be in all 3 sessions, Asia, London, and I do about 2.5 hours in New York, as I do trade a different instrument. In the New York session, I trade options because I don't need to be in front of my computer a long time, and it's getting kind of late by that time. It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I still need some rest. Can't do this 24 hours a day, and I can still get a good night's rest. So traders, how do I trade? Well, one, I listen to fundamentals a lot. I know what's going on with fundamentals. I know what's going on around the world. I know my economic calendar. I know when issues are coming out or speakers are coming out or numbers, meaning data, is coming out on a daily basis. It's very important. Yes, I do pay for my news feed. However, you don't have to pay for news feed. You can find news feeds out there, and some of the brokers provide live news feeds. If you open up a live account with them, you can actually get a live speaking person during the trading hours, especially London and New York. So, there is plenty of news out there, but we need to know what's going on. It's so important. It's part of your analysis, right? You need to know if you're looking at taking a pound trade, but you got 4 pieces of data coming out in the European session, London session, that's pound related. I want to make sure you can get to break even by the time that data comes out. So that means, do you enter the trade or do you wait? And that's all stuff you have to put together with your trade plan. However, I'm a technician. I love reading charts. I think candlestick patterns are so important. They tell you a story. They tell you what's going on. They tell you what possible price action is. I like looking at support and resistance and price action, price structure, price levels. Forex repeats itself. So if you have levels on your charts of price that is affected in the past, it most likely will affect again. I always look at the 20s, the 80s, and the 50s, and the double zeros, where price is likely to bounce, is likely to have orders in the opposite direction. So I'm aware of that when I put my analysis together. After I do my analysis on both sides, fundamentals and technicals, on that pair, I now come up with a trade plan. Once my trade plan is set, I trade my plan. I do not deviate from my plan. I know what I want to do. I know what I'm looking for, and I'm just waiting for price to come to me. Well, that's good. What does that do? That alleviates from me sitting in front of my computer for 16 hours a day, because I just take my iPad with me or my iPhone, and I can bring up my charts on both, and I can monitor and manage my trades. I do not enter my trades on an iPad or an iPhone. I need to be on my main computers because I have 4 screens that I look at. I need to see data and I need to see what's going on before I enter my trade. Because what's this all about? It's all about probabilities, right? We want probabilities more on our side so we can win that trade. All right, that's more than enough about me. Let's get the legal stuff out of the way. Let's get started. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, what's the name of this game? Capital preservation. I say it every day. If you don't have any capital, you can't trade. Trade to live another day. Therefore, do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's head over to news and commentary. Let's see how the markets did yesterday. The markets actually in the U.S. session did a turnaround, and the Dow 30 closed positive 0.44%. The S&P 500 closed positive 0.54%, and the Nasdaq closed positive 0.75%, with the small cap 2000 closing positive 0.65%. Let's go over to the Eurozone, see how those countries did yesterday. The DAX, a lot of red. The DAX closed negative 1.67%. The FTSE 100 out of London closed negative 1.25%. The CAC 40 closed negative 1.88%. And the Eurostoxx 50 closed negative 1.85%. Traders, let's come on over to Asia. Remember, some of these countries are not open yet. However, the Nikkei 225 is currently trading and is negative 0.40%, with the S&P ASX 200 out of Australia in the green, positive 0.51%. The China 850 is not open. However, it did close positive 0.02%, and the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong also is not trading yet. They got about almost an hour, 42 minutes to go, and they closed negative 1.23%. However, the Kospi out of Seoul is currently trading, and they are positive 0.91%. Let's head on over to the economic calendar. It is NFP week, so there is actually no data in the Asia session today. We actually don't have any high impact data until we get into the London session, and we have manufacturing production out of the Great British Pound, and that is 90 minutes after the European Open. And as we scroll on down here, we do have ADP, non-farm employment change. Okay, for those of you who don't know, ADP is a payroll company in every state in the United States. And you can have a company with 2 people, or you can have a company with 50,000 people. They will do your payroll. They do all your taxes, your deductions, and all that stuff. ADP does that. It's a huge, huge company. And their consensus is 159. Now, the consensus for NFP is 176. And other than that, we have the CAD has IVPMI, high impact news event coming out today. And then, of course, we have crude oil inventories. Now, crude oil inventories is a day late, and that's only because Monday was a holiday. And that wraps up our economic calendar. We have plenty of medium impact news events, so we definitely have some things going on. Earlier in Asia, and I was not up myself, my folks, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, the FOMC minutes came out, and basically nothing new, nothing's going to change. We're not going to see a rate hike in 2016. And basically, from what I read today, they are just in a wait and see mode. They're not doing nothing. So it looks like, the Fed is not going to do anything until after 2017. And as we get closer to the presidential election in the United States, I don't think we're going to see much of anything. I think it's going to be very, very dull. And as far as the Fed goes, I don't think they're going to stir the pot. I think it's going to be okay. All right, today's day before NFP. We should see some price action today. We probably will have price action until Friday's London lunch. You need to be either covered in your trades or out of your trades by London lunch on Friday, because the markets will freeze up until that data comes out. Really, to be honest with you, traders, it could be the afternoon, like the start of London, and you'll start to see the markets freeze up slowly. And it happens every month, so it's nothing new, and we expect that to happen. Traders, let's get to the charts. Let's take a look at the euro-yen. Oh, excuse me, traders. Yeah, this euro-yen, unfortunately, we missed the boat, but when this started, this was quite early in the morning for me, as it is currently 7:40 a.m. in Thailand. and it is 2040 on Wall Street right at the moment. And now it's bounced off this daily pivot. So I wanted to pull back up to this resistance line that I put on my chart at 112.63. And we want to take this all the way down to support at 110.95. This is a nice trade if it works. Yes, we're going to get some bounces here at this daily pivot. The nice part is that it's hit that twice already and has been rejected. So let's see if this can get back up to the resistance and go through it. That'll be the third time it's going to try to break that daily pivot. Now, the more time it hits a price level, the better chances are that it will go through that price level. So looking at a London trade here, I don't think it's going to be a London open trade, but I think it's going to be a London trade we will have here to sell this. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the pound dollar. Pound dollar just grinding away and absolutely just tearing it up to the downside. Really is unbelievable. I just cannot believe we are at 28.56 right now. We are below the daily pivot point. I'm looking for an aggressive pullback back up to 30.57, and that's the all-one pivot, and I'll sell it. But this has not given us a pullback. And traders, I know what you're saying. This is a great place to buy, and I have to agree with you. It is a great place to buy. We have a couple of issues, though. One is take a look at your moving averages. All your moving averages are pointed to the downside, including the 10 EMA, which is on top of price, which is not helping the current candle break that daily pivot point. So it's been days since this has really given us a decent pullback, but this pair just continues to dive. It's amazing that, we were at 1.5480 before Brexit. 2 weeks later, we're down at 1.2820. That is unbelievable. All right, traders. So really nothing to do here till we get an aggressive pullback. If you want to wiggle into this sell, I don't suggest it because we don't know what this is going to do. And this has been on a downslope for 2 weeks, traders, with no pullback. It's getting ready. I would think that the big money and the big banks and the market movers are getting ready to tear out some stops. That's what I think. So I'm staying clear of the pound dollar this week. Don't even want to see it. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar did give us a really nice pullback. We're in a great spot right here at the 0.7525. Now at 75.15. We're in a great spot to sell this. If you want to sell this, go for it. This is not in a bad area. This is a great area. The 10 EMA is above price. Yes, you're going to get a little bit of price action at the daily pivot point in the 55 and the 200. Yes, that's a confluence. That's a support level. That's why I put a star there. As if it bounces around there for a couple of hours, so what? We wanted to break that and bring us down to support at 0.7413. However, your drawdown is very little. Your drawdown is going to be 18 pips, if that, 20 pips. And, you're looking to make 70 or 80 pips. So, this is a really nice trade setup, and it's ready to go. And there's no data coming out in Asia. So this is a great trading opportunity if you want to get in this during the Asia session. Let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, I did a trend line trade because this is, to be honest with you, this is a pretty sideways, ugly-looking chart. All the EMAs are close together. There's no angle. There's no separation. Maybe we can get this to close below the trend line, retest it, and then take the sell trade at 0.7110, and we'll get out at 0.7007. So, I don't know, traders. I really don't like this New Zealand dollar trade. This just doesn't look healthy. You got the 10 and the 55 scrambled like a bowl of spaghetti. Yeah, this just does not look like a healthy trade. But every time I say that, the next day we come back and this thing is blastering to the upside, right, going to the next location. So we'll just keep a real eye on that. Here's your Aussie, very interesting pair today. I was really, I love this pair. I love trading this pair, but I think this move is really completed itself, and now we have a triple bottom, and so I'm looking for a bounce here. I've got it so we can come up to the 61.8 and get in this 1.4787. I have to be honest with you, traders. I'd really love to see this go all the way back to the 4840 area at that 200 exponential moving average, which is the green line on the chart, and then take this back down. I'm very cautious about taking this to the upside. And remember, if you take this to the upside, until proven otherwise, that is a counter trend trade. This is bearish. This pair is bearish right now. And it's done a very good job. It's come down, gives you pullback, comes down, gives you pullback, comes down, gives you pullback. So we'll see what happens at this current price level that it's at 1.4743, where basically we want to take profit. So we need this pair to do some work for us. With the amount of data that's coming out today, there's a good chance this thing's just going to fall through the bottom here and continue to the downside. I don't think so, but it's possible. I think we're due for a major pullback here and this thing to come back up into our fib levels. I'd really like to see it hit that 38.2. We would be doing great. Traders, yes, this time I left the euro dollar for the last one of the day. Here's another one. Look at our exponential moving averages. You know, when you look at a chart, you got to look at spatial intelligence. It should take you like 5 seconds, 10 seconds to determine what is your bias in this pair. This pair is bearish. It is bearish, and I guarantee if I put a Fibonacci tool on this chart, we'll look at the 50% from the top of the left side to that red candle with the big spike, all the way down to that red spike on the bottom. We're probably about the 50%, maybe the 618, but we're stuck here. We're stuck in a mess here. We've got all these moving averages all coming together. We've got a daily pivot point. This is not somewhere where I want to get in. So I want this to bounce up to 1.1129. And we could take this down all the way back down to 1.1049. So this is a nice, the euro is a great pair to trade, but you have to be smart, right? We want to trade smart and not hard. And if we have to wait, we have to wait. Sit on your hands. It's not a week where you want to be jumping into trades. You don't want to be clicking that mouse all the time. This week, we got NFP in 36 hours, and my friends, the charts are going to get a little funky in the next 36 hours. And then in London tomorrow, they're going to freeze up and end up going sideways for several hours until NFP numbers are released. Traders, I am over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, I want to thank you for joining me. July 7th, 2016, one of my best friend's birthdays today. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Again, traders, please come visit us at fxclearing.com. Check out our site. Great economic calendar, great education, opportunity to open up a demo account, live account. Staff is there ready to help you 24 hours a day. Take care, traders. Have a great trading day. And like I said, trade smart and not hard. Traders, we'll see you in about 24 hours. See you now. Bye-bye.